Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone on this Sunday evening. Hope to find you all well. I hope you have absolutely had a great weekend. Yeah, it's been a bit of a, I don't know if we could call it a weekend, a good weekend. Weather-wise. Yeah, it's been a bit weird, but other than that, fantastic. But listen. Before we start tonight, I just want to thank Jodie Whittaker personally. You're the gift that keeps on giving. Um, look, this is why I don't like the woman. She comes out with stupid statements. So apparently, if you to read the latest article from the Metro, which we will be looking into, and also we might actually go and check out that interview that she actually did with Marie Claire. I think that's where this originates from. We're going to check that out as well. We're also going to talk about all the other stupid stuff that's come out of the woman's mouth since she's been cast recently, the HBO Max. We have covered some of this, but we're going to talk about it because, I think it's important that we realize that this woman right now, and as the Thing King said last night, and he's right, the timing of this seems a little bit off, right? Why now? Why are we only hearing this now anyway? I never heard of this before. This is the first time. And if you were to listen to the person that's writing the article, Jodie Whittaker's parents invented gender neutrality. Yes, because apparently they did it when it wasn't even a thing. Right, I'm going to give my 2 cents on it, and this is where I stand on it, right? When you were growing up as kids, especially in my era, and I'm not too much older than Jodie Whittaker, right? So Jodie Whittaker she would have had the parents, my parents and her parents would have been similar, obviously, in the way they raised their kids, because, society was completely different to the way it is. Kids weren't treated that any differently back then. Boys often played with girls' toys. Girls often played with boys' toys. The reason for that being was because, you'd have so many kids in the family, the parents just wouldn't be able to afford to buy everything that they wanted for their kids. So brothers and sisters, we shared our toys, we played together. Doesn't make us gender neutral. This is another bit of pandering from Whittaker, right? She isn't gender neutral at all. It was just the way she was raised, like most of us. Her parents didn't treat brothers and sisters any differently. We were treated as equals. It was only later on in society then that we made that parents start making the distinction and saying that girls should be this and boys should be that. But no way did our parents hold us back in any way. We could do whatever we wanted, no matter what our gender. So this gender neutrality crap that she's coming out with is pandering. She's pandering to get brownie points off the other side. And we've already seen, and I can't wait until they find out that she's gender neutral, or they probably already know anyway. But it's ridiculous. She ain't gender neutral, right? She was just, we all grew up. And I guarantee, by the way, I will be putting the link in the chat. So if you want to come on and actually add you, because that's what we're talking about today. We're focusing on Jodie Whittaker. I was going to do, we were going to talk Robert Patterson, but Jodie Whittaker can't help herself. Something comes out, an interview or that she did, or someone decides to do an article and bring this all up again. So as I said, it's the gift that keeps giving. And I think we do need to talk about it because it's clearly pandering. And I don't care what anybody on the other side says. This is pandering. She's not gender neutral. She's lying to you. Right? We were all brought up the same way as Jodie Whittaker. And maybe Jodie Whittaker's parents had a bit more money than mine anyway. I don't know. I don't know what our background is. But we were all brought up the same way. Brothers and sisters weren't treated any differently. Jesus Christ, when I was growing up as a kid playing football, soccer for you Americans out there, we had girls playing on our team. Right? Does that make them gender neutral, or did it make them lesbians or whatever? No, they were tomboys. Okay, that's what they were called. And I know some people hate that word now. Oh, you can't use the word tomboy. But that's exactly what we called girls like that. right? They just enjoyed the company of boys rather than girls. It doesn't make them anything, right? It doesn't make them gender neutral, lesbian, boy, or whatever. I'm sick of all of this crap. We were all brought up as equals because our parents actually, they cared. They wanted, their kids, whether it was a boy or a girl, to have those equal opportunities. Yeah? Bloody hell, my sister is a nurse. I'm a former chef. I don't work in kitchens anymore, but I'm fully qualified, but we were treated the same and we took our own paths in our life. I'm sick of all of this crap. She isn't gender neutral anyway. So, I mean, like, if you want to believe that, and the timing of this is actually very peculiar. We get the announcement that she's doing Comic-Con. Then Bradley Walsh all of a sudden was announced. Then we get this gender neutral crap. And then, what else is she going to come out with? I turn around and says, don't be surprised if she comes out and says at some stage that she actually experimented with the same sex, right? Just to get more brownie points. And that's what this is all about. This is why I don't like this woman. She comes out with so much stupidity, it's unbelievable. And people are buying it. People don't see right through her, right? She isn't gender neutral. She never was gender neutral. She was just treated the same way as her brothers and sisters if she has brothers and sisters. I don't know her personal life, but I do know she has a brother. So the fact that she wasn't treated any differently, we were all brought up that way. If it's different now, well, then that's society's fault. That's not our fault, all right? Because we were brought up, as far as I'm concerned, we were brought up the proper way, all right? And that's not disrespecting any parent out there that brings up their kids the proper way, by the way. I know there's a lot of you that do bring your kids up fantastically well, but there are some idiots out there, as you know, that buy into all of this crap. Gender neutral, me bloody, yeah. Right, listen, we're going to get this. Before I bring people on, I'm going to put the link in the chat. I'm going to read the article first, right? So I don't get interrupted while I'm reading the article. Then what I'll do is then whoever's in the studio will bring us on like we did Friday night and Saturday night. Now, I'm only doing this for this weekend. Obviously, we'll go back to the Friday nights. Next Saturday and Sunday, I have something else planned, maybe a couple of watch-alongs. So if you want to join me for them next weekend, we're going to have a couple of watch-alongs. But this will be the last Tardis Zone talks this weekend, and then it'll be back to its Friday night slot. Okay, so if you want to come on, this is our only opportunity now until Friday. Okay, but I'm going to read the article. And you can have a gander. Tell me what you think. And while I'm reading the article, right, if you want to, whoever's coming on, if you want to get up as a quote or some interview that she did where she makes some stupid comment or makes some stupid, stupid quote that we know isn't true. Like, for example, when she said that women sat in the corner and all of this male gaze crap. If you have similar quotes or comments from Whittaker that you want to highlight, please do, because this is what this stream is for. I want to show people why this woman isn't liked by most in the fandom. Is because of the things she said. Just like Brie Larson yesterday coming out with crap because that the woman died, the Supreme Justice or whatever her name is. I haven't got a clue who she is. Don't care who she is, but Brie Larson had to use it as a political statement. She couldn't just say R.I.P. and leave it at that. She had to be a selfish idiot, as she always is, an insecure twat, and she used it to blab on about how women are oppressed and all of this rubbish, the usual crap. I mean, we must have a lot. We must have a lot of slave women everywhere, lads. You know, we must have a lot of them go everywhere because according to Brie Larson, you know, it's still an issue. Man, she want to stop being insecure, man, and actually get a life. You know, that's what's wrong with her. She's insecure, you see, and then she projects her insecurity on the rest of us. Then, right? Listen, as I said on Twitter, right, the best person will get the job, and if that happens to be a woman again, fair play. But the best candidate will get the job. All right. She says work still has to be done. Shut your mouth, right? Just actually say, rest in peace and leave your political nonsense and keep it to yourself. Yeah. Because what you're talking about is absolute rubbish. Because women aren't enslaved, women aren't oppressed, right? In Western society. Okay. There might be places around the world where women still don't have rights, and that should be sorted. Why not concentrate on that, Miss Larson, instead of actually putting up this fake outrage about how women are oppressed or not getting the right kind of job? Why not go over to India where women are treated badly? Oh, you did a movie about India and you were racist about, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the movie that you're trying to bury. Yeah. You don't give a shit about women. You don't give a crap about anybody else but yourself. Like most of them. Like Jodie Whittaker as well. And that's my point. Jodie Whittaker doesn't care about the Jodie Whittaker fans. She only cares about herself. But she will pander to you once in a while because, you know, she has to keep you happy. So here you go. She is keeping you happy now with this stupid little article. And there you go. You need a TV license. It's the law. Just came up on my screen. Yeah. Right. Let's read this ridiculous article. I read it last night, by the way, and I was just struck by how stupid the whole thing is. Seriously. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the article, but I'm going to send out, I'm going to put the link out now. Right. So while I'm reading, come into the studio and get your opinions in. And there you go. It's in the chat. I might have to refresh in a few minutes. Oh, no. Hello, starry-eyed girl. Nice to see you here. Stuart is here as well. Dr. Dave, Gary Hewitt, Charlotte is here as well. As I said, if you want to come on, more than welcome. Terence is here as well. The Thing King D, Carl Hewell is here. Charlotte is here. Dr. Dave, Problem Being, David Rayner. Welcome. Gary Hewitt. We've already got guests coming in. That's great. Real Super Doctor. I just want a sci-fi show, says Chico was here. Is that the singer Chico that was in the UK on Britain's Got, or was it X Factor? Maz is here as well. Welcome, Maz. I know who you are. Welcome. Nice to see you in the chat. Just keep me informed if you know yourself. You know what these people are like. You know what I'm talking about. If anything is said, it's funny. Who else have we got? If I've missed anybody, just let me know at the end of the chat there. I'm scrolling back through. I can already see that there's people in the studio. If you want to join, I've put the link in the studio. I'll put the link in the chat. And the Starry says, I've lost my voice, otherwise I would. No problem. Listen, we do this on a Friday as well. If you're available, you can come on Fridays. It's everybody gets about 10 minutes and we talk about whatever topic we're talking about. We're doing Star Wars, by the way. I don't know if you've all seen it. Actually, I have to plug next month because obviously it's on my channel. So next month we're going to have hashtag Star Wars Mania. Yeah. We're going to do the original trilogy. We're going to do watch along. Also, we're going to do a season review of the first season of Mandalorian. And then when the second one comes out, we're going to do an episode by episode review as well. So we're going to start. Listen, this the only reason why I'm doing this is actually thanks to the Mandalorian. So I know people have their problems with it, but I'm a non-Star Wars fan, and Mandalorian is making me watch Star Wars again. So it deserves credit for that, to be honest with you. So that's why I'm doing it. I've gotten a bit of a Star Wars bug all of a sudden, and I feel like I have to watch the movies again for some weird reason, which I'm going to do, which we're all going to do. So you have next month, October. So dust off your Blu-rays or your VHSs. I don't think anybody has VHSs anymore. Or your DVDs. And get ready for October Star Wars. Hashtag Star Wars Mania. I hope you like the little trailer I put together. Believe it or not, I was able to find some free Star Wars stock footage that required no licensing, and it was copyright free. And I was able to even time the music to where the explosion, because if you haven't seen the trailer, check it out. I actually think it's probably one of the best trailers I've actually put together, and I have no experience at editing, so I thought it was pretty good. So if you haven't checked out the Star Wars trailer that I put up, please do, because it'll get you excited for the whole thing. So that's next month. And Lee is going to mention it, but we will get around to Lower Decks. I don't even know if anybody wants Lower Decks. So listen, I watched 2-3 episodes or something, and I've just lost interest. I don't know how Lee feels, but I feel bad because he has been watching them. So I feel it's only fair that we do the ones that he's already watched. But other than that, this show is an abomination. I'm watching classic, the original series, and it's just far more superior. Right, let's read this article because we have guests waiting and I want to get them on. Right, so Jodie Whittaker reveals her parents raised her as gender neutral before it was even considered a thing. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. There she is there, look. Like, there she is, gender. But, do you know what? I will say this. The main comment that I've got off people, right? And this has been over every single platform. There's at least 1 or 2 people that will make the same comment. And the comment has been, well, that explains a lot. And it actually does. Doctor Who's Jodie Whittaker has discussed her childhood and family life in a new interview, saying her parents raised her and her brother gender neutral before it was even considered a thing. They sound like cool parents. No, they don't. They sound like every other parent out there that was doing the same thing. It doesn't mean that they were gender neutral, you idiot. What's your name? Hold on. What's this journalist's name? It's a bloke anyway. Jamie Tabarer. Yeah. Get laid, mate. The Star told the Times that this approach to parenting meant she and her sibling were given the same opportunities growing up. Well, so was I with the rest of my sisters, but we weren't raised as gender neutral. It was just the way our parents raised us, as I've been saying. Shut up. My brother and I were raised gender neutral before it was even considered a thing. So, Jodie Whittaker's parents are the inventors of gender neutrality, according to Jodie Whittaker. And yes, that's exactly what she's saying, by the way, with that statement there. If her parents did it before it was considered a thing, well, then they invented gender neutrality. So let's give Jodie Whittaker's parents a round of applause for being stunning and fucking brave. We were given equal opportunities, so was I and my sisters, and thrown into the same activities, so were we. Our parents told us that our social skills and sports were just as important as our academic results. So was ours. We had sports day where we raced against girls. They wanted me to be well-rounded, able to have a proper conversation and have an inquisitive mind. Fair play. I wonder what's happened in Doctor Who because you don't use it. Gender-neutral parenting is when parents do not enforce cues and themes stereotypically considered as for boys or as for girls and their kids. It can also involve allowing a child to choose the clothes they want to wear and the toys they want to play with. Yeah, our parents did the same. I dressed up as a princess one time for Halloween. We all do it. Boys and girls. As I said earlier, we had girls that play, get away. You know what? Let's see. In the past, celebrities such as Pink have said they're raising their kids gender neutral. Jodie became Doctor Who in 2017, the first woman to take the role since its debut in 1963. But she isn't. She's gender neutral. So she ain't the first woman to take the role because she doesn't identify as a woman. That said, she previously explained, now, she isn't playing the role with a defined gender. Well, we do know that because, yeah, we've said that. She told Mary Claire in 2018, and this is the quote that Eddie F. Scarrow has put up that's caused a bit of controversy, like most of the stuff. The best thing for me, though, is that for the first time in my life, I'm not playing a stereotypical woman. Because as much as I approach everything as an actor, I'm continually labelled by the female version of that character. I recently had someone ask me, are you playing the Doctor as a girl or a boy? I replied, I'm just playing it. This is the most freeing role because there are no rules. There is rules, you idiot. And that's why your Doctor doesn't come across as good, because you're not playing it as you should. You're a female, so you should play it as a female Doctor, not a gender neutral. It doesn't work that way. So there you go. That's the article, right? That's the comments that she's made, right? Just like the comment she made a few months back during the HBO interview when she said that little girls had to cut their hair to cosplay as the Doctor in the past. This woman is a plank, right? I'm sorry, right? This woman is a plank. Someone needs to tell that woman she needs to shut her mouth because she's doing more damage every time she does. You're not gender neutral. You never were. Your parents were like your parents. They brought us up all equally. That doesn't mean you're gender neutral, right? This is a word that was just invented years ago. That everybody it just seems to use because everybody has to put labels on something. So because your parents treated you equal, so if your parents, anybody in the chat, I just want to let you know, you mightn't have known this before, right? But if your parents treated you the same way as your brothers, right, or your sisters, right, and you played with their toys and they played with your toys, right, and you shared clothes because, you know, you mightn't have the money or anything like that, you are now considered gender neutral. Congratulations, everybody. You're gender neutral. I didn't know that we're all gender neutral. Yay! Yeah. Yeah, and I'm Santa Claus. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, it's getting beyond ridiculous now. And by the way, Jodie Whittaker fans, I know a lot of you are watching me because you do every day, because you always have something to comment on Twitter about what I say. So listen up. Listen up. She ain't gender neutral. She doesn't give a shit about you, and she's only doing this to gain brownie points and to appease. I've got a funny feeling that something is happening, because the timing of this as well is a bit peculiar. The timing of our Comic-Con announcement is peculiar, and then when there was no interest, then they actually announced Bradley Walsh, because they know that people like us that aren't fans of this era, they know that we like Bradley Walsh. And that's why he was treated like shit in Series 12, because Chibnall didn't want to give us anything that we liked. So he made sure that he destroyed the only character that we actually had any feelings towards, and turned him into a bumbling idiot. Right? That's what he does. He doesn't care about yous. He doesn't care about us. All they care about is the agenda. And Jodie Whittaker, again, comes out with another whopper. And you know what? Someone should finally just tell that woman to shut the hell up, right? Whoever is looking after Whittaker and does our media should tell her, listen, you need to stop this now. The show is already damaged enough. You know, you need to be coming out with things to try and keep the fans happy, right? But she's coming out and she's keeping the wrong people happy, right? Because these people are not fans of the show. We've already seen that they'll attack anybody that says anything about that precious Whittaker, yeah? Whittaker apparently is the best thing since sliced bread, right? We've already seen how pathetic our fans are. They'll rig a Radio Times poll because they think that BBC will look at this and say, well, maybe we've got it wrong. Maybe 7 million people. Maybe we should just ignore the 7 million 7 million households that tuned out. Maybe we should ignore the fact that the merchandise sales are down and that nobody is interested in the magazine or interested if Doctor Who's on screen. Maybe we should ignore all of that because, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, we're not all... See, this is what I can't understand. These idiots don't realise, right? They don't realise that BBC don't care about you. They're using you right now, and everybody else, like Jodie Whittaker, using you right now because they are pandering. They need to tick boxes. They've been doing it for the last couple of years. We've seen high-profile sackings. By the way, I want to say one thing, and I know Lee will probably have something to say about it when he comes on, but Tim Davie looks like he's going to be all talk and no action. I mean, Gary Lineker is still going around and saying his stuff. And if he can't keep Gary Lineker in tow, well, then how do we expect them to actually enforce any of the stuff that he wants to enforce at the BBC? So, yeah, someone should just tell Jodie Whittaker, whoever works with her or does our press, that she needs to actually, you know, stop with this rhetoric and start... Well, it's too late anyway. I would say start to win the fans over, the real fans. But, you know, 7 million households have walked away, you know, and then she comes out with this rubbish. And then they wonder why the show is in an awful state. That's why. That's why. It's not just the writing. It's not just Chris Chibnall, right? And I have said he's mostly responsible, which he is. But this woman doesn't help either. She doesn't help herself. She doesn't help the show. She doesn't help the fandom, right? She doesn't help the BBC, okay? She's not helping anybody but herself. She's selfish like all of them. So, I'm going to start bringing on guests. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put the link in again. We've got a couple of people waiting. I'd like a few more people. So, excuse me. So please, hold on. Yeah, I see that. I'm running it again. Right, there we go. And then we do this. Right, it's in the chat. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. So if you want to come on for 10 minutes, give your 2 cents, give your opinion. And also, as I said, if you have also got a quote that you want to highlight or an interview that she did, something that she said in that interview, please do. But listen, I'm just going to say to the Whittaker fans out straight, if you honestly believe that Jodie Whittaker is gender neutral, well then I feel sorry for you. Every person, even in this chat, I've been looking at the chat as it's been going by, have actually said nearly exactly some of the stuff that I've said. Our parents just didn't treat us any differently. Doesn't mean we're gender neutral. Listen, I wanted to do Batman today, right? I see this article last night, and I have to say we have to do because this is the type of stuff that we're talking about. This is what's damaging the show. This is what's damaging the ratings. Because when people see Jodie Whittaker come out with something like that in an interview, they're saying, "Well, what's she doing that for? She should be concentrating on the show, perfecting her character." But no, all she wants to do is talk about our politics and ram them down our throats. She ain't gender neutral anyway. Right, let's bring on our first caller, our first guest on. We won't do any intros actually for this one, because you know it's the Tardis song talk. So yeah, we'll bring on our first caller, our first guest, whatever you want to call it. I think it's not a caller, is it? Because we're not doing phone in. We'll just call a caller because everybody likes caller. Our first caller of the evening, and it's Problem B.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Well, right. Listen, 10 minutes, so I'm just going to let you. I'm just going to let you go straight for it. So go for it, mate, and then I'll tell you when you've got to.
Okay.
Listen, though, try breathe in between takes, yeah. So I can get in 2-minute warning. I'll have to cut you off.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Well, it's not that big a deal, really. It's a simple case of you were raised gender neutral. Okay. Why are you a feminist?
I love it. I love
Seriously. Why are you a feminist?
Exactly.
It just doesn't make sense. You know, if you're gender neutral, then surely you should be neutral on gender.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, in the interview, she has actually come out now. I know in that Mary Claire interview, she did say she wasn't playing a particular gender when she was playing the doctor and all that, was kind of gender neutral, if that's what you want to read into it. But when you see her, they said
that's just bad
when she does interviews, she always says the first female doctor, you know, when she's in crowds and all of that. So you're right. If she is a feminine,
I'm sorry, she did a whole advertising campaign. She did a whole advertising campaign with the glass ceiling breaking, time's up or whatever it is, and it was just like kind of, oops. Yeah. So why? Why if it's not a big deal? I mean, she's trying to say now that she's playing the role without a gender.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, she's just a tomboy, but she still acts like a Karen, you know. So I'm sorry, that's not neutral.
Yeah, but Lee, it does explain a lot, because we've always said, what kind of doctor is she playing? Is she playing she's not playing it like a woman. So this would actually.
She's playing it like she's playing it like a reserve teacher, you know, like a student teacher. You know, who's having a midlife crisis. But you know, I'm sorry. If that was, I mean, when someone says to her, Stephen Fry's character says, you know, I thought you were a man, and then she goes, "I've had an upgrade." That's hardly being neutral, is it? That's not neutral.
That's why I brought you on. I knew you would while I was talking and all, you would be thinking of all of these things and having bullet points. But this is the thing: you're exposing the sham.
It is a sham. It's a blatant sham.
It is. She's just pandering, and I hope they do realise that. And listen, it's not because, you know, I don't want her to represent you or acting like that. It's false. It's false. We're showing you that it's and Lee is right. We're exposing it. We're showing you it's all a lie. She says things in interviews that contradicts what she says. Right? She ain't gender neutral. She never was.
She certainly isn't a gender neutral. That's for sure.
Jesus, man, this woman.
I mean, I'm sorry, if you're going to be claiming that the way you were raised has imprinted upon your lifestyle choices throughout your adult life, why then are you a feminist? Because if you're a feminist, then you're pretty much taking a side of a particular gender.
Exactly. Yeah. It is. The hypocrisy is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Dave Doctor said the same.
That will lap this up and buy it, and it's clearly a lie. It's clearly a lie. She just, and this is why I don't. This is why I don't like the woman. I don't hate her, but I don't like her either. And this is the reason why I don't like her. She comes out with very stupid statements. I mean, I think you were with me live streaming when we put that HBO Max interview on, and we've told everybody. And if you're new to the channel, I would urge you to go and watch that HBO Max interview, because it's very startling. And also you can see, this is why I want you to watch it. You will listen to Matt Smith about the way he talked about Doctor Who and David Tennant, right? And then in the same interview, Jodie Whittaker talks about being the Doctor. But listen to the 3 interviews, right? Listen to the 3 answers to the questions and all that they're given, the 3 of them, the answers that they give. You will see that David Tennant and Matt Smith are still deeply in love with the show. And you can see from the 2 of them that there's a little bit of regret that the both of them are now gone, you know? And then you see Jodie Whittaker talk about, and she talks about how it's a platform, a stepping stone, to inspire young girls. And then she comes out with that stupid, ridiculous statement, little girls don't have to cut their hair anymore.
So do we have to grow our hair to cosplay her, Doctor? Do little boys have to grow their hair long and bleach it and wear mascara to dress like her? Which she regenerated with, by the way. Yeah, I just find it ridiculous. You know, she's clearly not neutral on anything, and it is the intersectional feminism of which everyone at the BBC and within Hollywood has latched onto. I call it femme creme supreme. As in white female supremacists.
The people that do identify as gender neutral. See, this is the thing I'm getting at. I don't mind if all these groups want to be represented. I actually think that, you know, everybody should live and let live. We shouldn't have labels on everything, and we should just all get on with it. But this is the way society is.
Okay, then shave your hair off, Jodie.
It's not disrespectful to the people that actually do. Because, I mean, look...
What doesn't she shave her hair off and strap down her boobs and not wear any makeup? You know, like other gender-neutral people do, or these non-binary types. I mean, go the whole hog. I mean, look, being a toy boy, being a tomboy, does not make you gender neutral. Exactly. It just means that you have interests that are akin to the opposite sex.
Exactly. Listen, as I said, I played soccer with a few, or football with a few tomboys, and I tell you, they were the nicest kids. And I tell you, man, good ballers as well. I have to plead and say.
Look, there was a girl at my school when, you know, she was a big tomboy and she was well into her football, but you know, she was still a girl. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Stuff, but they just preferred, as you said, you know, playing football instead of playing skipping or the stuff that girls used to do. Like, girls have always done that, and the same with boys. Some boys prefer.
That's because some girls prefer to be friends with boys, you know, and that's why they like tomboys, because I want to fit in with the boys.
This is where I hope the Whittaker fans don't swallow it, and I hope you don't swallow this one, right? Because it's a total lie. It's a fabrication, and the timing of it is very, very interesting. With a couple of weeks to go until her Comic-Con. A virtual appearance. By the way, we still don't know any details, really. We don't know if it's live, going out live, or it's a pre-record. Also, I'll be very interested to see, will they actually censor the comments, or will they not allow any comments at all?
No, they won't have either that, or it'll be really heavily moderated.
What's the quote of Jodie Whittaker's that annoys you the most?
I think it's got, well, apart from the mocking fans through that awful Vanity Fair or whatever the hell it was thing, which you just read out people's concerns and then sort of just mocked them and did the scrunch face at them. But I think it's the white male gaze thing that really, I mean, like, she's clearly admitted that, and this was, you know, at her casting, that she hadn't watched the original series. So how the fuck would she know that you know, I think what she was trying to get at was, you know, characters like Leela wearing a skimpy costume, so therefore was there for the white male gaze. I mean, like, what about lesbians? I mean, they would have enjoyed it. What about black men? They would have enjoyed it. Asian men probably would have enjoyed it. Asian lesbians, black lesbians. In most kids watching it wouldn't even really fully understand it, depending on their age. I suppose if you were a young rabbi, maybe you would be lusting. But other than that, so what? You know, sex is a very vital part of anyone's culture, anyway. But other than that, she was a well-written character, pretty much unlike hers. And you know, just because she opts to adopt the characterization of 10 and 11th Doctors doesn't really make her character gender neutral. It just means it's badly realized.
She just, I mean, look, that was that stylist video that she did.
That's the one, yeah.
We've lost Gary. Gary, if you want to come back in, what we obviously, you know, it's 10 minutes a guest. So if you want to come back in, we've got 2 more waiting, and then you're obviously, if you come back yourself, we'll have you on as well. But yeah, listen, I've been saying this since she's been cast. She just doesn't seem to know when to.
She doesn't endear herself.
She always says something that panders to the other side. And this one is clearly pandering. That stylist video was bang out of order as well. But our fans will say, "Oh, but she was only joking. You shouldn't take it so seriously." Well, of course, I'm going to take it seriously. You guys,
Doctor Who's for everybody, not just for your intersectional mates.
Exactly.
And your mates at cocktail parties and your little femme creme supreme holdouts.
I like that saying.
You know, it's become so the bandwidth of this conversation is narrowed so much, and so they call it intersectional. Yeah. When really all it is an exclusive club that excludes everyone outside of that, which is the vast majority of people.
Yeah.
So
we've got to the end of our
no worries.
Time. So do you want to do your shout outs before you head off?
Well, I'm still on Twitter's bitch step, so I'm still.
You're on Parler, yeah.
On Parler for what it's worth. I mean, I rarely check it because it's so boring.
And he will be on this channel again at some stage.
At some point, yeah. Listen, don't worry too much about the lower dregs thing. Look, you know, it's no big deal. I mean, I don't think anyone particularly cares anyway.
No,
I really don't.
If people want us to continue the lower decks, we will. If not, Lee will be part of the Star Wars panel because obviously he worked on an extra on the new ones, obviously, but that doesn't matter. He's still the Star Wars man, so we'll have him.
You have lots of the toys.
Yeah, so we'll have you on those panels. So that's how I'll make it up to you for that.
No worries.
Have you on those? So you already know one of the panelists that are going to be on the Star Wars panel. Well, 2 of us, myself and Lee, and we've got a super chat actually before you head off there, Lee. We've got a super chat from Mega Geek Rebecca Gold. He says, "Thanks Noel for keeping it real. Who alive? Have a drink on me, mate. Listen, thanks for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And listen, I want to give your 2 cents on the conversation that we're having now. I've put the link in the chat there. If you want to come on, I haven't heard from you in a while. If you want to come on, we have a couple of more guests waiting. Is there any channel you want to plug briefly before we finish up?
Just came in from Blue Bonnet Hoovian's stream. She's doing a series of writers of Doctor Who. It's quite interesting.
Oh, yeah, I see.
So go check those out. Yeah.
I'm going to check them out myself actually because it does look very interesting. Those streams. Yeah, it's good that someone is actually highlighting the writing of the past. I think it is very important because you'll get these newer fans who clearly don't understand the shows. Well, Doctor Who has always been political, but at least when someone is doing streams like that now, they'll be able to show everybody well, the difference the way it was done back then to the way it's done
These
now.
people have got no scruples. They're the type of people who go to a Radio Times poll and vote her like through various bots or whatever, and then disrespect all the previous actors so badly. It's just unbelievable.
You know what? They're just sad.
And much love to starry-eyed girl out there. It's great to see. I hope you're.
Yeah, it's nice to see her in the chat, chatting away, and Mega Geek as well. Nice to have them both here as well.
Get on the stream, Ian. Get on.
That's what I said to him. Listen, Lee, as usual, pleasure.
Always.
Thanks for coming on, pal, and thanks for giving your opinion. Let's hope people see this for what it is, but I doubt it very much. You know yourself. Right, Lee, go on. I'm going to get her on the next guest because she's been waiting a while. She's been waiting a while now, and I have to get through the ball. I'll see you later, pal.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you. Bye. Right. We'll bring her on. And she, as I said, we have her as part of the classic who watch alongs now, and we've got another week to go. And then we'll be back to normal scheduling. No, that's not the word we'll be resuming normal. No, see, I've lost it. Do you know what? I think I'm getting senile in me all day. So let's just bring on my next guest. It's Charlotte.
Hello.
I can't even bring on my guests properly. Look. Jesus. Are you there, Charlotte? Can we hear?
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Lovely. Okay. Nice to have you here. How are you?
Good.
That's good. Right, go ahead. I'm sure you have plenty to say.
Yeah, I'll do it from a slightly different angle. And it's that when it comes to this show, it's sort of a very unique role, the Doctor, that it's not just what you do on screen. A lot of what makes the Doctor sort of become liked in the fandom or loved or sort of taken in is what you do outside the role. It's interviews, it's press, it's all these little things, because the Doctor is this larger than life character. So it's not just a normal telly show where you do your scenes and then you don't interact with anybody who receives it. And if you look at what all the past actors have done, they have done interviews that are full of charm or excitement, or especially if you've got somebody like Capaldi or David who are massive fans, you can see this almost reverence for the show. And we respond to that as fans, and we always have. And with Whittaker, it's like I can't think of any interviews that I've seen that I just get that feeling of, oh, she's so excited to be playing the Doctor, for the Doctor, not for policy, not for agenda, not for trying to say, oh, look, I am doing this for young girls, I'm doing this for feminism. It's because she's been given a legacy and she's been allowed to play this role. And it's like stuff like this. It's like, that's what you should be talking about to get fans on your side. It's like, everything that seems to come out of her mouth seems to be tainted with agenda. Whereas if David talks about Who, you just get this absolute love that pours out of him, or Matt, or any of the other previous actors. And I think it's definitely a fair comparison because she's number 13, so we've had other people before her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, she's got a special coming up, for God's sake. Like, shouldn't she be promoting this special now? Shouldn't she be talking about, oh, I'm so excited for this special? But no, she's talking about her parents raising her as gender neutral.
Exactly. She has her priorities wrong. I mean, look, you bring up excellent points there. I mean, you're right. It's not just how they handle themselves in the role. It's all of that other stuff. And the one thing that we have said on this channel, and everybody that, you know, I interact with, have also said the same thing. It's like, you know, Series 11. When she got announced, she was everywhere, right? You couldn't get enough of Jodie Whittaker. Actually, we were all getting sick of it. You remember? we're all saying, actually, not another Whittaker. It was just everything, right? But even at that, right, she appeared at the cons. She did what she had to do, right? But look, they've never been really this production team and Whittaker. They've never came across as warm or sincere. And that's what I think the biggest problem I have with her. She's not sincere, and I'm sorry, people will disagree with me on that one, especially our fans. But she isn't sincere, and stuff like
she's not sincere about the at the end of the role of the Doctor. The Doctor is an incredibly unique character in television.
Yeah,
it's not just because they're alien, and that's why I think in that quote that Eddie put up when she talked about how I'm just the Doctor's a Time Lord that's been different bodies, and I'm just playing a female one. And I'm like, no, the Doctor's not separate bodies. The Doctor's one being, and the Doctor's so unique because no other character on television can say they're technically one being or one soul, as I think about it. The way I always think of how I would explain the Doctor to somebody is, imagine a soul that just has happened to inhabit 13 different bodies, but it's the same soul.
Yeah.
So that means all the losses, all the victories, all the joy and all the sorrow that this character has experienced for however old the Doctor is at this point, that carries in the soul, but it's just a different body. And that's why the Doctor's such this unique character. And that's why, for me, when she's on screen, I can't see how she comes after Peter and David and Matt and Chris and all the classic actors.
Yeah, I mean, you make some great points. I mean, it's there. Look, the sham is there for everybody to see, but these people that support her, they know, they know deep down. But you know what? They're just blinded by their agenda. They're just like Whittaker. That they will continue to do, and she'll get support for this. And when you see all of our fans now, when they find out I've done this stream particularly, I'll be attacked for doing it. But I'm just highlighting the fact that we can all see what she's doing. There isn't a genuine bone in that woman's body since day one she took that role. From the very first statement or quote that she came out, "Don't fear my gender." As soon as she said that, BBC should have fired her. Simple as that.
Well, I remember, do you know how usually when a doctor's first cast, they do like a sit-down interview?
Yeah.
And I remember reading it because I was nervous. So I thought, I'll read her interview and see what she says because all the others had done one. And I can remember a part of it. And it's when she was basically talking about being the Doctor. And I thought, okay, let's see what she says about being this role. And maybe I'm slightly misquoting it, but I swear she basically said, as a feminist, she was talking about approaching the role and how it was important to her as a feminist.
Yeah.
And that turned me off because I was like, no, it doesn't matter if you're a feminist. The Doctor's its own role.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be putting your own agenda on this character.
Well, this is what she had to say about, and Eddie put her quote up. So this is what she said: "I'm playing the Time Lord who is essentially an alien and inhabits different bodies. And this one is female. The best thing for me though is that for the first time in my life, I'm not playing a stereotypical woman." And this is what Charlotte is actually talking about. This part here, different bodies. She doesn't inhabit different bodies, as Charlotte said. We've always been told it's the same. What happens is the Doctor repairs itself, and if he's too badly damaged, he has a knack of survive by changing every cell in their body. But it's still the same bloody person.
Yeah, and because if you think about how Russell did the Time War, then let's take this logic. Russell introduced the Time War with Eccleston, and that the Time War heavily influenced Nine. It was a major part of his personality. It was why he was so damaged. It was why he was so nervous, and he had to basically learn to love himself again almost through Rose. And that's why Rose was so important. So if it was different bodies, then why would the Time War still have echoes when we got to Matt's Doctor? Which it did. Because with David's Doctor, obviously he was different. We could say he'd coped with it better. He'd sort of I wouldn't say the hurt was gone at that point, but it wasn't so much on the surface. That's probably the better way to talk about 10. But the Time War still influenced him, because even though he was a different body technically from Chris, that experience still had impact, and you could see that with some of his lines and when he went dark. I mean, that's why when he said to Filch in School Reunion, I used to have so much mercy. That Doctor wouldn't say that line, or he wouldn't have that much importance, that line, if it wasn't for what had gone before with the Time War.
Exactly. You're making a lot of valid points there that I think some people are going to add on to, because I didn't even think of some of those things. But the thing about it is that, you know, the longer she continues along those same lines that she has been, she's just gonna listen. 7 million households have walked away. If you want the rest of them to walk away, keep doing these interviews. Actually, I would encourage Jodie Whittaker to do as many interviews as possible, to be honest, because the more she talks, the more damage she's going to do, and the more people are going to tune out. So, you know, for me personally, you know, I hope she keeps this up. I hope she keeps this whole rhetoric up now for the next couple of months, because she will turn the rest of the audience away, because people do read newspapers, they do read the magazines, you know, that she features in, you know what I mean, the national newspaper, because they have a lot to talk about. Then the papers will pick up on what she's saying, and there will be a lot of negativity, and there already is. So she's gonna add more. So yeah, I'll say, listen, you know, I said earlier, maybe our PR team should tell her to shut up. You know, that was Jordan Series 11. Yeah, keep talking about this gender neutral crap, and keep talking about other feminist crap, and watch the audience disappear, because it's already disappeared. So keep going. Charlotte, we have run out of time, but I'll give you the opportunity to plug a channel, let people know where they can find you. So I'll let you do that now. So go ahead.
Well, I said I avoid Twitter. I don't go on Twitter. I avoid it like the plague, so you won't find me there. And you'll see me in chat and pop up and channels. Not like I said. The next thing you'll probably see me is with Daniel. We've got some stuff we're doing quite soon in the future on his channel.
Yeah, he told us, and I'm pretty sure he'll plug it again. He's laughing already because he knows. He'll plug it again after he finished. He takes about 20 minutes to plug, so I just let Daniel go with the flow.
He's a busy boy nowadays, our Daniel, that's why.
Yeah, he is. He's getting very busy now, but that's good. That's good as well. You know what they say? You keep busy as well, it stops you from having any negative thoughts, especially during a lockdown. You know, so you keep busy, that can help as well, and talk to people. So I hope he keeps it up. His channel's doing very well. Very proud.
Oh, he's buzzing. He's got lots and lots of plans.
I know he does, and he'll get them all done. He'll get them all done. No better man. So don't forget to check Charlotte out in the chats. As she said, she'll be on these panels as well. She'll be on Daniel's channel, and I'm pretty sure there'll be other people that'll have her on now. She's very, as you can tell, you know, Charlotte has her head screwed on, and Charlotte actually can see it, you know. And apparently it's only men that hate Doctor Who. But there's a woman for you there, and we have another woman coming on soon as well. But there you go. It's not just blokes that dislike Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. Women also find her repulsive. Maybe that's a strong word, but they certainly don't warm to her Doctor like many people think. Listen, Charlotte, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. As I said, We'll be doing panels along the way, and if you do want to join that Star Wars panel at some stage or join us for any other panel that we do, you're more than welcome. You know that.
Yeah, no problem, mate. I'll keep an eye, and if you want, just send me a message. That's all you need to do.
No problem. I'll give you a bit of notice. Yeah, I'm horrible for that, to be quite honest with you. But I will. That's why I did the trailer last night. Give everybody plenty of notice that it's happening next month. So yeah. So if anybody does want to guest with me for hashtag Star Wars Mania, use that hashtag, by the way. Check out the trailer on my channel. I put it together last night. I'm actually pretty proud of it. So yeah, we'll be doing the original trilogy. We'll be doing a serious review of The Mandalorian Season 1. And then we'll actually be doing an episode by episode review of Season 2 when it launches it's next month, I think, that launches. That's why I decided to do this whole Star Wars thing. Yeah, because of The Mandalorian, all of a sudden, it's made me want to watch the movies again for some weird reason. So thank you, Mandalorian. Might get a bit of stick off some fans out there, but as a non-Star Wars fan, you know, if I'm being honest, I watched that and it made me want to watch the old movie. So maybe it's a bit of a gateway for non-fans. Could be.
Well, it's eyes, isn't it? It doesn't matter who you are as long as you're enjoying it.
Exactly. And I am enjoying The Mandalorian, so I'm going to enjoy the movies as well. But listen, Charlotte, thank you for coming on. We're going to bring on our next guest because he's coming up from a very, very long journey, yeah. All the way from...
Oh, I might know him then.
Yeah, all the way from Scarrow, believe it or not. Yeah.
Come on, kick me off so you can get my sidekick on then.
That's it. And he put his roots down in Scotland, believe it or not. Yeah. It's the one and only, the international treasure, as Cheryl would call him. It's the one and only Scottish Tavares.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. And Lee is asking you to slap that like button or slap and tickle that like button. Please do. And also, please make sure that you're still, before Daniel does start, please make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. I've noticed lately that now I'm not losing many subscribers, but I lose about 3 and then they come back the next day. So YouTube is actively, removing them. People are realizing they're being unsubbed. So just make sure that you're still sub, please, because some people have told me that they aren't, and hit that notification bell to make sure that you're notified for whenever I put a video out or do a live stream. Right, Daniel, Jodie Whittaker. This next one.
As some of your other all us have said, as a kind of contradiction for every interview who she gives is like a contradiction. One minute she says, "Oh, she's a feminist," and then like she says as a feminist, blah 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 blah, when she took the role. Now she's coming out saying she's gender neutral, and like I think she's so desperate to stay sort of relevant and in people's consciousness. She's resorting to the pandering, and to be honest with, if it just reeks a desperation once again, because she knows that not many people are going to actually pay for upcoming independent projects and movies that she's thinking of producing, and I the hell should Doctor Who fans be expected to pay for her movies anyway. She's treated a lot of the long-term fans with contempt. The nerve of that woman is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, she has, as I said, she's come out with, over the last couple of years, she's come out with some really stupid statements. And you would think, as I said at the start, you would think, especially when she was first announced, you'd think she would have had people there telling her, listen, you know, we know that you have certain political beliefs and whatever, but you have to be very careful how you word things, because you might upset a few fans, and you mightn't like that you might upset a few fans and think it's wrong that they're upset, but you've got to remember that these guys have been watching the show for over half a century, some of them in some cases. So you really need to you really need to be careful what you say and do, because you're going to be watched like a hawk, which this is the thing I can't understand. She was going to be scrutinized more than any other doctor, because obviously she was billed as the first female doctor. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. I can't believe some people didn't go to her say, listen, you have to be careful, because, you know, these fans are already upset that we cast a woman. Now you've got to go out there to prove to everybody that we've made the right choice. But no, that hasn't happened. She's went statement after statement. Go ahead, Daniel, because I could go on a rant here.
And see, to be honest with you, I wasn't even angry when I found out. But I still laughing because I said to myself, this woman is such a hypocrite. So I still laughing this morning when I heard and I saw your video on it. And as well, no, to be honest with you, it's time to get the popcorn and the chocolate ready for that Comic Con panel and just have a laugh and sit back and enjoy. Don't take this panel serious. We just have a laugh and treat it as the comedy show that everybody knows it's only be. That's what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah, it is. Listen, I can't wait for the panel, but I'm going to be listening to everything that she has to say, and I'll be taking notes, because here's the thing. It's going to be interesting how Bradley Walsh and Manip and Jodie talk about the show. You know, by looking at what Jodie said in the past, we can already predict what she's got to kind of say. But Manip, we don't get too much from Manip. But anytime I see acting from Manip, no offense, she's always moaning about something. She always has something to moan about. I remember last year she actually
gave out about
a pillow from Debenhams. She went on a rant on Twitter over a pillow that she ordered because it was the wrong pillow or something, or it wasn't as advertised. Like, get over yourself. You know what I mean? So it'd be interesting to see what she has to say about the role and has inspired her.
And she also gave out to Dill, a very driver, for getting her up out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning when she ordered from Amazon. So you can't exactly give out to the delivery driver when you ordered to whatever it was that she ordered. After that, and she's just as stupid as Jodie Whittaker, in my opinion. If not more, she's got no common sense at all.
Yeah. I mean, listen, at this stage, she's become a bit of a parody. She's become a bit of a legend, but for the wrong reason. Definitely not for the right reasons. and she'll be remembered for all the wrong reasons. And it's such a shame, because I will say this, right? The only time I'm going to defend her here is this. I do feel that when BBC decided they were going to go down this route, right? And he hired Chibnall hired Jodie Whittaker. I do feel he has robbed us of a female doctor. If they were going to do this. So we will never truly know what a female doctor would have looked like, because Chris Chibnall doesn't write her like that anyway. And this whole gender neutrality thing makes perfect bloody sense. Even though I know she's lying, but, you know, they just throw out any. And she is lying, by the way. Because someone on Twitter, who's one of our fans, has already kicked off already and saying that someone is saying that Jodie Whittaker lied. But she is lying. Because we were all brought up the same way, okay, as kids. We weren't treated any different to our brothers and sisters. We were all treated equally. It doesn't mean that we were gender neutral. But Jesus Christ, as I said earlier on, I dressed up as a princess one time for Halloween. I even dressed up as a female character one time. I actually dressed up as Madonna as well. Okay? I did all of those things as a kid. You know, whatever was there for a Halloween costume, I put on the shit and that was it. Right? Some years I put a bloody rubbish bag, one of those black sacks that you get. My parents would cut holes in it, make a design, and I'd go around and be a witch. Other times. It doesn't mean I was gender neutral or anything like this, or more feminine than I was masculine. It was just the way we were brought up, right? Yeah. Everything has to have some sort of, she isn't gender neutral, and that's why she's lying.
Yep.
Right? So if you have a problem with that, I don't give a flying, I don't give a crap. You lie about Jodie Whittaker yourself anyway every time you talk on Twitter. You said her was the most popular doll when it wasn't. You also claim that that our ratings are successful when we've already proved that our ratings aren't. So you know what? You can say whatever you want. She isn't gender neutral. She's a liar and she's pandering. It's as simple as that. Okay? And I hate people like that because they're not honest, they're not sincere. And if they're not honest and sincere, they shouldn't be playing the doctor. Right? And I'm not saying every person that played the doctor before was honest and sincere, but when they're coming out with stuff like this, right? When you're saying that you identify a particular way, right? You have to be sincere about it, not pandering, and that's what she's doing. Daniel, we're about to run out of time, mate, but do you want to give your channel a shout out? Because I know you like to get everything out. So go ahead.
Well, tomorrow night I've got my Sarah Jane Adventures stream at Sydney.
Wow.
Walk UK time with my special guest and Bill on it Hooving, and then after that I'll be getting my sidekick on, as she previously mentioned, and as well to round off the year at some point I might do some finish reviews as well, and I actually pre-ordered the Dalek and the new David Tennant box set, and I know that you're kind of excited by it as well. So if you would like to join me for those reviews, are more than welcome to when that box set comes out.
Is that it, Daniel? Is that everything?
Yeah.
All right. Listen, don't forget to check out Daniel's channel. And don't forget, actually, he's mentioned Blue Bonnet Hoovian's channel as well. Don't forget to actually subscribe to Blue Bonnet's channel. As you can see, she is putting out some terrific stuff, have to be honest. So check it out. I'm going to be honest with you all. I don't watch them all live because I do, obviously, you know, I am a married man, so I have to spend time with the missus. But whenever I get a chance, I do go. I watched Ballstreck's videos last night, so I am getting through them all. So I haven't gotten to all user streams, but I will. Trust me, because you're putting out some great content. It's really keeping me going seeing all the great content that you are all putting out there. So I just want to say to you all, keep it up. Proud of you all, I have to say. Some of you that started your channels up, I never thought. And I don't think you ever thought that it would go this well, because let's be honest, I had a bit of a struggle when we first started, and then it started tailing off a little bit. But it looks like we're all getting a bit of a wind again. You know, the members of the public seem to be getting turned off week by week by what's going on in the land of TV, in society, film, and they're turning to streamers like us. So keep it up, folks. Keep it up. This is a good time to be. I remember Gary saying it was a bad time to be a YouTuber. I would actually have to say, you know, that I kind of agree, but the last few weeks or the last month, I'd say this is probably the best time now, that if you were ever considering to set up a YouTube channel, I think your time is now. And I think you should launch it now, because I think in a couple of months' time, you know, when the big news comes out, it'll die down a little bit again. And then if you try to launch a channel there, you're going to find it very hard to get any growth. It's always when there's something happening in the fandoms is the best time, in my opinion. That's what I did when I started talking about Series 11. I could see that the fans were getting angry, and then I thought, well, this is perfect time for me to launch, because I'm also angry and I've got plenty to say, and why not give people a platform? And then you seen it then from 51 subs, and then I jumped. So we're doing well. Daniel's doing well. Rabbi's doing well. Blue Bonnet is doing well. Mr. Hyde's podcast is doing well. Everybody that has been part of this panel is doing absolutely fantastic. Keep up the good work, folks. And Daniel, you keep it up as well. I look forward to all your content as well. And thank you, pal, for coming on. And listen, you stay safe. Chin up, by the way, because I know you were a little bit down yesterday. And you need to talk. I know you had your friend to talk to. I know who you were talking to. I won't tell anybody here, but you told me who you were talking to. But if you ever do need anybody else to talk to, you know I'm here for you as well, all right? And I just the person that did actually talk to Daniel, you know who you are. I don't want to embarrass either of you, but I just want to say thank you because you made a big difference last night to Daniel. Because look at him, he's here now all smiley. So thank you for being there for him. It means a lot to us as well, not only to Daniel, but it does to know that people are looking out for you. So listen, pleasure having you on. And I can't wait until we have the watch-alongs back. And I'm back again Friday, don't forget. I'm sure you'll be back on again Friday. Because Friday nights is actually your favourite night. I know that, because we used to do the home. So I can't wait to see you on Friday. But I will talk to you during the week as well. But you look after yourself.
I'll see you soon.
I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Right. We'll bring on our next. We have two guests, but I see that one of the other guests, because he has been waiting a long time, Gary Ewa. Gary, we've got two more guests. If you want to pop on, I don't know if you popped out. You were supposed to be on next, I think, originally when you first popped out. But if you want to pop back in, I'm going to get the next guest on, and then the next, and then if you want to pop on, I'll make you the last guest. But I'm going to bring on our next guest. She hasn't been on in a while, but also she's joined us. Oh, I lost your stream now. Oh. Did you lose it because of the thing that you're on, or is YouTube ghosting me? I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube has ghosted the stream. You know, BBC don't like me, so I wouldn't be surprised there. But if you can get back in, let me know. Right, let's bring on our next guest. She has been waiting a while now, so we'll bring her on. She's been part of the panels as well. And we haven't had her on in a couple of weeks, actually. It's the Wolf and the Storm. Welcome.
Hi.
I thought there for a second.
I know I've been trying to get on. I'd like to do your afternoon talks.
Lovely. Well, I have been trying to put these ones on because we have a couple of weeks off.
I really have been trying to get on. And
yeah, I've been trying to do them earlier.
it's just
the next weekend will be the last weekend.
It's just hard for me to get on. It's just hard for me to get on in the afternoons now.
I know.
It's just hard for me to get on in the afternoons because my kids are my daughter's got the laptop because she's got to do school, so I'm kind of stuck.
I see. Well, listen, let's get your opinion on Miss Whittaker's latest interview. What are your initial thoughts on this gender neutrality? And by the way, I just want to point out that if this is what Jodie Whittaker is saying, right? Obviously, the reporter says, well, her parents did it when it wasn't the thing. So therefore, her parents invented gender neutrality, which just sounds ridiculous. But that's what this journalist is actually saying. And Whittaker herself, because she's saying her parents did it before anybody else was doing it, which I think personally is a stupid statement to make. But I will shut up now and I will give you the spotlight at Wolf and Storm. So if you want to give us your opinion on Miss Whittaker, fire away. I know you'll probably have loads to say, so go ahead.
Okay. Well, first of all, the tweet that you put up there, where she was saying it's her first time playing a not stereotypical woman. Great job, Jodie. It's really great job shitting on all your previous work. Just saying. And shitting on all of the writers that wrote those characters for you by saying that they're just stereotypical women. Wow. Maybe she forgot the fact that Chibnall was very vocal in the press before she was introduced as the doctor, that he would not come on to the show unless he was able to hire a woman to be a female doctor. I mean, she did film a freaking promo piece before the show started back up in 2018 that literally showed her with like a hammer shattering the Tardis glass ceiling, for God's sake. She damn well knew that she was being hired because she was a woman. So this whole gender neutral bullshit, yeah, miss me with that crap. Miss me. Look, I'm sure that her parents treated her and her brother the same. Okay, that's great. But you dress like a woman, you act like a woman. I don't know what you're doing with the doctor because the outfit you wear is pretty much gender neutral. But haven't we already seen that the ability for a Time Lord to be a female has already been proven with Missy? Because Michelle Gomez is a fantastic and pulled it off, and the writing backed it up. Let's not forget in Classic Who, we had Mary Tam and Lala Ward as Romana, one of the best known characters of Classic Who, a female Time Lord, because they were great actresses and the writing backed it up. I think it can be done. Unfortunately, Jodie doesn't have the ability. She just does not. Like you said, she doesn't. Some actors have a wide range where they can play just about anything. I mean, look at what David Tennant just did with Dez. Oh my Jesus Christ, that was fucking fantastic.
Oh, we haven't.
He can go from being a serial killer psychopath to being the.
True story.
I know, but I don't even know anything about him, so I don't know about.
I'm not. I'm not.
He chopped people up or something, but I want to see it. Sorry, Cheryl and me were just having a little bit.
But the point is that he has that kind of range, and that most of the actors that have played the Doctor have that range. Jodie, unfortunately, does not have that range.
Yeah.
And what's worse is that the writing doesn't for her doesn't back it up because the writing is so poor. That's just facts.
Yeah. No, you're spot on. She doesn't have the range, unfortunately, and I mean. You are right to a certain. Listen, you know how I feel on Missy, but you are right. It worked. It did. I don't think of her as the master. I just think of her as a psycho Mary Poppins, right? But that doesn't matter. She was at the end of the day, she was brought in to play a role. Did she Did she play the role to the best of her ability and give great performances? Absolutely, 100%. She was absolutely fantastic playing Missy, right? I don't class Missy, as I said, as the master, but playing the character of Missy and the writing that she was given, and sometimes the scripts weren't that great, but she showed how good she was because she was a good caliber of actress, right? She actually has talent. Right, I'm not saying Jodie Whittaker doesn't have talent. What I'm saying is that you needed someone like a Michelle Gomez to take the Doctor Who role, not someone like Jodie Whittaker who's a level above a soap star. That's not going to work. And she's heavily hindered by the fact that she's out of her depth, that she's getting absolutely rotten scripts. And let's be honest, Jodie Whittaker is not getting the best scripts in the world. But even the ones that she does get that we consider, half decent, she's not elevating them because she just doesn't have the acting range or the ability. And she doesn't have the screen presence either, which she needs. And again, it'll go down to one simple thing as well, her personality. As Charlotte has said, you look at all the other people that played the Doctor, they all had either there was a bit of quirkiness in their personality, but they had something about their personality. What can we say about Jodie Whittaker's personality that appeals to us all?
She makes you want to punch her in the face every time she opens her mouth. Basically. I mean, you know, the point of being a good doctor is when it's your first time on screen. Like, she totally missed the whole mark in that first episode. And this is true for every doctor, whether it's the episode Rose or the episode Christmas Invasion or the 11th Hour or Deep Breath. It doesn't matter. All of those were fantastic because those actors were able, in the 40 minutes that they had, to completely establish themselves as the Doctor. David Tennant did it in one scene. He literally spent at least 50% of that episode on his back in a bed. And yet the moment that he actually woke up and was like, "Did you miss me?" You knew in that second, that's the Doctor. But Jodie, in her 40, 50-minute whatever that she had, the woman who fell to Earth, you came away from that going, okay, maybe I'll wait till the second episode and she'll establish herself some more. And then you go to the second one and you're like, who is this person? Because if you cannot establish, this is the kind of role that it is extremely important. You must establish yourself as the Doctor from the jump. If you do not, if you miss that mark, you're done. It doesn't matter how many seasons you get. If you can't get it right from the jump, you can fucking forget it. And for her to keep saying, well, he's the Doctor is gender neutral. I'm sorry, but Jodie, haven't you spent the last 2 years screaming about how this show is now a platform for feminist virtue signers, shattering glass ceilings by making the Doctor a woman? Why are you saying that it's gender neutral if you're shrieing about the fact that the Doctor's now a woman? You make no sense. You're contradicting yourself. Literally.
Yeah. That was brought up by Charlotte as well, which and Lee, everybody's brought that up. And you know what? I never actually last night while I was doing that never popped into my head. Other stuff did, but that didn't pop into my head. But that is absolutely 100% true. She is being a hypocrite, and she's made such a big deal about being the first female Doctor, and then she comes out and says so. I don't know. Again, this comes across as well like every other woman in her position that seems to be in these big major roles. Brie Larson is the same. They seem to have a lot of insecurities, right? And they seem to project it. And there's a lot of mixed messages as well. And they seem to project it onto fandom, and they don't realize the damage that they're actually doing. I mean, Whittaker just needs, as I said, she keeps this up though, she will actually destroy the show. So I urge her people to keep getting her to do these sort of interviews, please, because a decision will be made then, because can't keep this up. Oh, well, I haven't brought it up, but Britain's Got Talent has decided to go all woke. I will at some stage address it. Right now, I'm just too angry, especially after what I seen last night. It's getting ridiculous, right? Listen, a lot of people threw up a lot of tweets last night, which I will talk about soon, next week. But celebrating the fact that Alicia Dixon wore Black Lives Matter necklace and said
look at what the Motion Picture Academy is doing.
No,
because apparently now getting awards or Oscars for Best Picture is not about the best movie that you make. It's about how diverse your cast and crew is now.
Yeah.
So you could have the best movie in the world that everybody thinks is like the second coming of movies, but if you have too many white people, sorry, no award for you.
That's it.
Honestly, what the fuck?
Yeah, I agree. It's ridiculous. It's getting stupid now at this stage. Listen, do me a favor, plug your channel and plug your social medias, and if you're making any appearances on anybody else's channel, this is your time, because we're about to run out of time. I've got 2 more guests. Please stay. And these are the last 2 guests of the night after Wolf and Storm. So Wolf and Storm, if you want to actually plug your channels, go ahead. Clobbering Times, nice to have you in the chat, and thank you for popping along. I will see you soon, my friend. Go ahead, Wolf and Storm.
Well, you guys know me. I'm on YouTube, The Wolf and the Storm. You can also follow me on Twitter, Wolf and Storm 78. Actually, right after I'm done here, I'm going to be doing a video review for the next selection of Time Lord Victorious, Monstrous Beauty, which came out in the latest issue of Doctor Who magazine. So we'll be reviewing that and all the good, juicy Time Lord Victorious details. And in a little while after that, I'll probably be doing a review on Des. You know me, I'm not a spoiler-free channel, so if you haven't seen Des, and then we'll be putting out some other details about David Tennant's newest venture around the world in 80 days, because it's recommenced filming now in October. So
yeah,
we're really excited about that. There will definitely be more information forthcoming about that as well.
Yeah, I do like Around the World in 80 Days. I've loved all the movies that they've actually made. Even some of the really bad ones are actually still fun. So yeah, this is a show that I'm really looking forward to. But I really have to say one thing though, Des, we've seen clips, and I've seen a scene with David Tennant, and all I have to say is he's utterly terrifying. This guy, listen, over the lockdown, for me personally, David Tennant has done hit after hit. He has another one that he did with Michael Sheen called Staged, which is absolutely fantastic if you haven't watched it. Actually, during lockdown, there's been a couple of shows that I will highlight next week that I think people should actually watch, and Des would be one of them. We haven't watched it yet, but we're going to watch it because it does look very interesting. But listen, Wolf and Storm, thank you for coming on. It looks like we have lost one of our guests, but that's good news for the guest that's been waiting, because every time he's popped out, he's been nearly coming up to being coming on, and he's always ended up last, because when he comes back on, then it puts him last in the studio. So Wolf and Storm, thanks for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. And then when we do get the watch alongs back up and running the weekend, if you're available, you're more than welcome to come on. I will keep sending you the link anyway, and whenever you can pop on, you're more than welcome.
Okie dokie. See you, Noel. Bye.
See ya. Bye. Right, let's bring on our next guest. He's been waiting for ages. So I'm glad that he was on with me last night. He's actually liking this format. It's nice to see him in again. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a lot to say about the latest interview. And we also have someone else that's popped in the chat into the studio that actually came on for the first time a couple of days ago. So look forward to hearing what he has to say about Whittaker as well. But let's bring him on. It's Gary.
Oh, hello, Noel. Thanks for having me back on.
No problem, my friend. No problem. Right, listen, I'm going to try keep quiet this time. There was a bit of a delay with Wolf and Storm. There was about a 10-second delay. So if there was a big major gap, don't worry about it. She will reply and I will respond. It's just there was a bit of a delay. But Gary, obviously last night I'm going through me social media and I see this Metro article which I threw up earlier, and it's obviously from an interview that she did back in 2018, I think it was. But it's resurfaced again, apparently. Or she's been quoting that art. I don't know what it is, but the comment has resurfaced. Okay, so she's claiming that she's been raised gender neutral. And at a time when it wasn't considered a thing, apparently. So what are your 2 cents on this? I mean, because I think everybody's pretty much said everything, but I'd like to hear your opinion because you might come at it from a different point of view, but be nice to hear. So what do you think, Gary?
Well, I just find, like, certainly in terms of TV and media, since the age of Botox and plastic surgery, I've found that actors in general have become plastic over the years and more self-centered and narcissistic anyway. But they certainly don't exude the warmth that they did in the 70s and 80s. You know, if you look at John Nathan Turner, absolutely adored the show, did whatever he could to promote it. Russell T Davies absolutely loved it. Went a bit cold of Moffat, but that's the story. But I think actors in general, they're just playing a good game, basically, and she's playing the game. And the more the language and people are becoming socially detached and more drawn to social media, the more they're coming across as cold, uncaring, unsympathetic. All it is feather in the nest, basically. And this is the era that we live in, and we have to live in it, unfortunately. And it's like, I think part of this is all a nod goodbye to a certain generation of fans who grew up with different standards and models, and they're catering now to a new audience. And this audience, you know, even if it's 2 million, they're lapping her up, aren't they? And all these fans of Jodie Whittaker, they're lapping her up and everything. But it's not for me. But I personally, I don't know what gender neutral is, because, like you say, I'm a 50-year-old man. We grew up in the 70s. We were like latchkey kids. We just played out. We crossed roads. We played near train stations and everything. We were totally innocent back in the. There was not, even at school, like you were saying, even in secondary school, most of the girls in the 70s and 80s were tomboys, and they watched exactly the same kind of things that we were watching. Now, here's something really interesting, though, Noel and chat. I won't keep you too long, but if you watch The Hand of Fear DVD and you watch the extras, there's a little phone in there with Tom Baker and Elizabeth Sladen, because obviously she's leaving that episode. But if you watch the Swap Shop interview with Noel Edmonds and they do the phone in, it's all little girls aged about 10 phoning in, and they don't want to speak to Elizabeth Sladen. They all want to speak to Tom Baker. So this gender thing, no, honestly, just check it out for yourself if you don't.
I will, because it is fascinating that they say that doctors never appealed to little girls, and that's a blatant lie. It's a blatant lie. Since William Hartnell, it wasn't just for little boys. Brothers and sisters were sitting at the TV together with their mothers and fathers watching Doctor Who back in the day. I hate this rhetoric. It's not exclusive to just men and boys. Doctor Who is for everybody and always has been. And this is the thing that I don't get today. They're trying to make it out that it wasn't, but it truly has been. Kids, look at. We've even seen you see it in archive videos as well, old clips. And you're right, the extras on these DVDs do be great, because you do see a lot of the stuff that you probably didn't see growing up as a kid, because I hadn't got it available here, and I've seen interviews. And Tom Baker's doctor appealed to everybody anyway. His doctor definitely did. I can't be 100% certain about the rest of them, because obviously their eras were a lot older. But you could see with Tom Baker, he appealed to everybody. So I never have bought this whole rhetoric. I mean, they did the whole thing, space for all. Doctor Who has always been for all. Mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters. No matter what your skin color, your religion, your race. Okay, it appeals to everybody. No, I hate that. That's the one thing that ticks me off, is they always seem to slate. And you're right, Gary. It's always the classic Who that always takes the butt of all of this crap, right? There's always articles by a digital spy or a Screen Rant that always has, well, things that wouldn't fly with Doctor Who fans today. Well, how do you know? How do you know? Right? You don't know nothing. So don't be talking about something you don't know about. You don't know the fandom. You don't know the heartbeat of the fandom. You don't know how they react to stuff. So shut up with your stupid articles. And you don't have to keep slating classic Who to make Jodie Whittaker's era look good. Right? If Jodie Whittaker's era is that good, it will stand the test of time. It's simple as that. Right? And listen, if this series is remembered for all the right reasons, which you all think it will be, then fine, right? But it won't be. This era is going to be like Colin Baker's, one of those eras that people will either love or hate. And we already know what the answer is. 7 million households walked away. So if you ask me, right, with only 4 million left, or 3 million, or just under 4, right? If you ask me, that tells me that the show is actually not popular. So say what you want. Say what you want. Gary is right. It's always classic Who that always seems to take the brunt of crap, because you just can't accept that this era is wrong. Everything about it is wrong. The way Jodie conducts herself is wrong. The way Chris Chibnall's writing the character is wrong. The way she's portraying the character is wrong. And the writing is just all wrong. Right, that's why he tried to correct himself for Series 12, because he did something completely different, Series 11, and it failed. And that's where he did the damage. Series 12 and The Timeless Children just put the final nail in the coffin. But if you want to know where the damage was actually done, it was actually done during Series 11 and all the crap that Jodie Whittaker was coming out with during all her interviews. That's what killed Doctor Who. And then instead of the BBC coming out and coming out and trying to rectify the situation by just putting out little distractions that would help the situation, they didn't. They made it worse. They defended her. Then you got Piers Wenger coming out and slating all our predecessors. Okay? So, this fake rhetoric, I'm sick of it all. It needs to stop. Classic Who is not use our toy to throw around and insult every time someone slates our precious Whittaker. She's not good enough. She never was. And this latest crap that she's coming out with, or has resurfaced, see, it went under the radar because she did so much stuff in 2018. This went under the radar. I'm glad it's resurfaced. I'm glad the Metro did an article on it, because it needs to be highlighted, the hypocrisy from the woman. For 2 years, she's been saying forced female doctor. The BBC have been saying forced female doctor. And now all of a sudden she's gender neutral and she's a feminist. So she's a contradiction. She's a walking contradiction. What would you say about that, Gary? She actually is a walking contradiction. Like, she's supposed to be a feminist. She talks about how she inspires little girls, but yeah, she's gender neutral.
Listen, can I just say something? These people, these actors and actresses, and it goes for a lot of the new Who actors, and I don't want to be horrible or anything like that, but the likes of Russell T Davies, Steve Moffat, David Tennant, they're playing a real good game. I don't think any one of them exude the same warmth as the actors and actresses of the 60s and 70s. To me, it just comes across as fake. They're just milking it for all the money they can get now with all these different shows and things, but they're just actors. You never get to know who the real person is, because they're so used to acting. They can act a drama where they're the most loving people. They can act in a drama where they're rapists, serial killers, and which just show you, to me, you never know the actual real people. They're just actors. And in terms of Jodie Whittaker, to be honest, a lot of people are just switched off from it, desensitized. There might be articles about it, but I think people are all switched off from it now, to be honest. Like,
it'll be interesting to see if they tune in for the special whenever they show it. It's rumored Christmas. It will be interesting to see if people actually watch and how many actually watch. Will there be a bounce, or will it stay the same? Will it not gain much? And that'll be the interesting thing. You know what? See, this is the problem as well. You've got all of this stuff going on, and then with Chris Chibnall saying his stuff, and then you have the likes of what's his name, former writers blocking fans, and then on top of that, you've got bad writing. You've got a show's ratings that are going down the tube, and instead of trying something new, a different tactic with the fans, they continue down the same route, and they think, I don't know what they're thinking. All I can think of at this stage, are they actually trying to kill it? Because it seems to me they're trying everything in their power to do so. And if they just want to kill it, why didn't they just end it after Peter Capaldi? I think people would have been happy with that. Instead of using Jodie Whittaker to destroy the show and Chris Chibnall, why not just leave it? Okay, Twice Upon a Time wouldn't have been the ending that we all would have wanted, but we all would have kind of, okay, we would have said, no, that's not how I wanted to end. But compared to what we're getting now, I think it would have been the better option. Should have ended it after Capaldi. If they believed that the show was getting stale, or they believed that it was becoming old, then what they really needed to do was they really needed to bring in a writer that was going to light a fire under the show, because Chris Chibnall wasn't that man. The only problem that we had with Doctor Who over the last couple of years, and I think, Gary, you'll agree with me with this before we end, but Stephen Moffat, at the end of his run, had basically given up. And if he had left, I honestly believe that he probably should have left after Matt Smith regenerated. I think that's when Moffat should have actually left. And then when they brought in Peter Capaldi, they should have had a new writer with Peter Capaldi, new showrunner with Peter Capaldi. Do I think it would have stopped the ratings drop that happened? Because it did happen. We don't deny that Peter Capaldi's era did suffer, because you went from two younger doctors to an older man. That was always going to happen. But if the writing had been better, because Moffat had given up at this stage, if his writing had been better, I honestly believe this. I say this. Peter Capaldi was screwed, but we could have been looking at one of the greatest doctors of all time in Peter Capaldi. But unfortunately, we didn't get that. He's still in my top 3, but he would have been the greatest doctor of all time if we had someone that had written him a lot better and not confused it. I did like his first season because he was dark, but I knew by going down this route, Moffat was going to kill some of the fans away. The die-hard Doctor Who fans would stick around like us, because I don't think there's anything wrong with these 4 seasons. But then his second season, he tried to give him a lighter tone, and it didn't work. He got the balance wrong. There was just something about it that just didn't work. And unfortunately, as I said, and I have ranted, so I will let you finish your point because I did cut in, but it's like they made the wrong decision. That's what I'm trying to say. They should not. Chris Chibnall was the wrong person to elevate this show. I don't care. Listen, I don't care he had a success with Broadchurch, right? I don't care that he's written one of my favorite movies of all time, which is the United movie about a football team that I support, Manchester United. He wrote that movie about the plane crash, and it's great. But the source material was there, so we can't mess up. But in saying that, he is no sci-fi writer. He's not. He likes writing dramas. He likes that's his forte. You bring him in to write Doctor Who, and he doesn't bring in sci-fi writers. He brings in soap writers. Then this is the result. This is what you get. This is the era that you get. Gary, just the last word with you. Comic-Con obviously is coming up in 2 weeks, a couple of weeks' time, featuring Jodie Whittaker. What would if you were in Jodie Whittaker, if you were Jodie Whittaker's PR manager after this interview has dropped and it's gotten the reaction that it's got, and trust me, it has gotten a very negative reaction. What would you say? What would your advice be to Jodie Whittaker with the upcoming New York Comic-Con coming up?
No, I think she should do it. Honestly, if I was Jodie Whittaker, I would do it because she has got a fan base. So we can't deny her fans the chance to get photographs and autographs with her. So to be honest, I don't have a problem with Jodie Whittaker.
Oh, it's virtual. She won't be signing autographs. It's virtual.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, of course. Yeah. Okay. No, I don't have a problem with it. It'll be good for her fans.
Yeah, we're gonna watch anyway because it'll be interesting to see what she has to actually say. Because she always makes some sort of political statement or some comment. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I'm watching anyway. I'm going to be live streaming it with a couple of people.
Fans, but obviously we know what.
Yeah, for them it is good. I will say because they have been waiting. Because they have been starting to ask questions. Actually, they have been asking why she hasn't been promoted as much now as the others are getting promoted, as you've seen with all the Big Finish stuff. So it is interesting that they are asking those questions. When you find the answer, or when you get the answer, then you'll know what the problems are, and then hopefully then you will make the decision to turn on Chibnall. That's what you need to do. He is the root of the problem. So he's the one you need to sort out. And he's the one that you need to highlight. So, but Whittaker's statements like this do not help. And it'll be interesting. This interview is going to be very, very, very interesting. I can't wait to see what she has to say. Can't wait to hear what Bradley Walsh has to say. Sorry about Ted. Ted, hold on. But Ted, calm down. Wait, hold on, Gary.
Okay.
Ted, calm down. There, I'm letting you out now. She's back in a minute. She's back. She's just gone to Chipper. She's gone to get Daddy and Mammy's dinner. She's gone to get her dinner. I'm going to get a big dirty burger now. Right, Gary, listen, thanks for coming on. And listen, as you know, we do these every Friday. So if you're up for it, get yourself in. The earlier you get yourself in, obviously you'll be wherever you land on. I'm sorry that you actually you left a couple of times because of your connection or whatever it was, but I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was unfortunate because every time you kept coming back in, you were getting bumped back down to the end of the list. So you've been waiting a long time, so thank you. I really appreciate that. So if you come on next Friday and if you're in, even if you're second or third, I'll throw you on first because you waited the longest anyway. So I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much. Cheers, chat. Thank you.
No problem. See you later, pal. Right, let's bring on our very last guest. And I had him on for the first time. Actually, it was a Friday, I think it was. Or was the last week? I'm pretty sure it was this week. See, don't see no now. But I want to bring him on. He obviously has some Doctor Who stuff to show us because I could see him in the background there with a poster. Maybe he'll want to show us that. But it's nice to have him back on. He was nervous the first time, but he's back again, and I'm glad he's back. It's Andrew Young. Hey, Andrew. How are you doing, pal?
All right.
You support Cardiff. Were they playing today?
No, yesterday, 1-2-0.
Ah, fantastic. That's good to hear. So I'll just ask you very quickly because you've been listening to the conversation. Do you want to add anything about the Jodie Whittaker article, or do you want to talk about something different? Okay, take your time.
Yeah.
I seen you had a poster there. Do you want to show us the poster that you had?
Well, it came in the magazine.
Oh, let's see it. Go on.
I wrote on it what everyone is thinking. Not like sad. If you can see, I wrote on it a little.
Oh, Jodie Whittaker poster. Yeah, let's have a look at it.
I wrote on it what everyone says about it. I hate white men, basically. Is that what you have to say?
Are you going to stick her up on your wall?
I know. On the other side there is Copper Doctor.
Oh, so they did do a double cover. So you're right. There is a double poster. So yeah, because you're the one that actually said it to me. It was a double cover. So yeah, it looks like the Doctor Who magazine does have a double cover because that's the actual poster. Did you get the? Did you buy the mag? You obviously bought the magazine this month. Is there anything interesting in the magazine?
To get the contract. Oh, whatever it is. I get 2 magazines a month.
Oh, you got Time Lord Victorious. Oh,
Yeah.
silly.
Call the 9th Doctor. I got the magazines somewhere in my bedroom.
All right, yeah.
I have 2 magazines a month, one on PlayStation as well.
Oh, nice one. So you buy the digital one as well, so you get a physical copy
magazine as well. I try to get that. They're sold out.
Did you get the poster for the? You got the Time Lord Victorious poster. Did you get that one?
Yeah, with the magazine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. Right. Do you wanna actually say something about the Jodie Whittaker interview about her being gender neutral? What do you think?
I don't really know what to think.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a tough one because I never heard this before, and it just seems to be a bit strange, the timing. Is there any other Doctor Who stuff that obviously you don't want to talk about that, so we don't have to talk about that. Is there any other Doctor Who stuff that you'd like to show everybody while you're on?
No. Just working. I wish I had working for last year. I went to a book festival last year.
Right.
And met someone else that used to work on that magazine.
Nice.
Crystal D, who you also.
Ah, yeah, Crystal. Yeah, you met Crystal D, did you?
Yeah. I didn't. Well, there's lots of kids, so I didn't almost time to talk to them.
Right. And I heard, I'm told that though in person, he's actually a nice person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
just when she goes on Twitter. It's just when she goes on Twitter, then she just seems to annoy everybody. But I heard when you actually meet her one-to-one, she's supposed to be a nice person. So I'm glad she was actually nice. What were you doing? Like when you were at the book fest, were you buying her book, or were you just there to see other?
Yeah.
All right.
No, just to see her basically.
The Women of Who.
Yeah, but I can't find it anywhere.
All right. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I seen when she was advertising that. It looked like an interesting book. Yeah. You're doing very well. You're all right.
Yeah.
What are you watching on the TV? You're obviously watching the TV as well. What are you watching on the TV?
Just BBC One football again.
Ah, the football.
Yeah, on BBC One. Burnley and Leicester 2.
All right, the FA Cup. Is that the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup?
It's the Premier League, isn't it?
Premier League. That's on BBC, is it?
Yeah, because they need one game on May.
Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't know that.
In the stadium, is there right now?
All right.
Yeah.
My team lost yesterday as well. Manchester United, we lost to Crystal Palace. Yeah. Wasn't a good day. Wasn't a good day at all.
He failed at both United and Cardiff now. Look at him.
Yeah.
Wilfred
Do you think Cardiff? Do you think he will get promoted?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, you have a good shout like the other teams there, because I do watch the championship and all of that. I have
two Welsh sides, obviously.
Yeah, I watch what's that channel called? Quest TV.
Yeah,
They
Quest.
show all the championship and the League One and League Two. So I watch that before match of the day.
Clubs.
Yeah.
The three of them. Cardiff, Swansea, Liverpool. We got yeah. Tottenham won.
Yeah.
Bill not yet fit.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season, all right. To be honest.
Bill back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else, Andrew, you want to say before we finish up? Because I'm going to finish up now because the wife is going to be bringing home chips from the chipper, and we're going to have a burger as well. Is there anything else you want to say before we leave? And listen, thanks for coming on. I know you're a little bit nervous, but it's great that you're coming on. And as I said, if you ever want to come on again, you're more than welcome to come on anytime. But is there anything else you'd like to add before you leave?
No. Just been watching classic Doctor Who every Friday with my father.
Oh, nice one. I've been watching Classic Who myself. Who are you watching? What era are you on? Are you watching Hartnell, Pertwee, Baker?
Colin Baker.
Oh, Colin Baker. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, we do watch alongs here. The weekend.
Good.
No, you found the book. Do you want to show me your book?
That one.
Oh, the DVD. Oh, nice one.
I'm going to.
Nice one. Well, I hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah, my father watches it with me every Friday too.
That's fantastic. That is brilliant. Yeah, we do. I have to say, you should tune in on the weekends because normally we do classic watch-alongs and we talk about classic Who. So we do a story from each Doctor every week, and then we also do the new Who watch-alongs as well. So if you ever want to pop in the chat and join in the conversation with everybody else about it, you're more than welcome. Listen, Andrew, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Thanks for coming on. And listen, you enjoy your week. Stay safe. And we'll talk very, very soon, all right?
Yeah. Bye.
See you later, pal. Have a good one.
Nice.
See you. Bye-bye. And that was Andrew Jones, who was on with us a couple of days back. Yeah, he's got his Colin Baker stuff there. He's going to be watching his Colin Baker DVDs. It's great that he's come on because, he used to give us all a bit, especially myself, he used to not like the stuff that I had to say. And, I invited him on and you know what, he's come on. So I'd just like to say to, Jodie Whittaker fans out there, this is a guy that had a problem with me, but he's come on now twice. He's been civil, and he's showed us some of his stuff and gave opinions. That's how we do it. And Andrew did himself proud there. It's only his second time on. He was a little bit nervous, but he still came on. He said what he had to say. Thank you very much, Andrew, for coming on, and to all my other guests who have also come on. Absolutely fantastic. And again, Andrew, really, I have to say, because I know it is difficult for you to come on. I really, really, well done. You should be proud of yourself as well for coming on and for being well behaved as well. I just wish others in the fandom would take that cue that you've taken. that do like Jodie Whittaker and were civil enough, because I'd bring them on. And I'd like to hear what they have to say. But what happens in this day and age, they'd rather just, not come on, because they know everything that they say anyway. We'll have an answer for everything anyway. It's the way it's always been. We have facts, and the figures and stuff. Well, listen, thank you for coming on, folks. Brilliant. I love it. And problem being with Time Slip was good. Hashtag justice for Time Slip. He's not going to stop until we actually watch that. One of these days, I'm just going to get it done and over with. But with that, I am done. So I want to thank all my moderators, especially Chris, who is the head honcho in the chat. Problem being was there also keeping an eye on the chat. Everybody that popped in while we had guests, I'll say good night to you now. I would say welcome, but we're about to finish up. But thank you for popping in. If you haven't subscribed and this is your first time listening to this channel, this is a format that we do normally every Friday. But because I have the next couple of weekends, because we normally do classic and new Who watch along, but because one of our panelists is away for Jewish New Year, we've decided to take a little bit of a break, because I don't want to do it without them anyway. Rabbi from another planet, I hope you're doing well, pal. So we're doing these type of things, but this is every Friday, this format, but we've done it for the last 3 nights. So if you are interested in coming on every Friday before Friday Night Kites, we do be on. Come in and check us out, please. And someone says, imagine getting triggered by what she says. No, I'm not triggered by what she says. It's clearly pandering, and she's clearly lying through her teeth. And that's why I'm bringing it up, because she's doing more damage than she actually is doing good. She isn't gender neutral. We're all brought up the same way, because she's I'm a couple of years older than her. So we're brought up the same way by our parents. Our parents didn't make any distinction between gender when it came to toys, clothes, and stuff like that, because most households were pretty poor. It's not got to do with being gender neutral or our parents treating her because our parents treated her equal. Okay, she's clearly pandering, and that's why I'm calling it out. I'm not triggered over the woman. We're all over her now. She keeps saying the same, and she gives us entertainment, and you're watching and criticizing. So job done. Well done. Don't forget to dislike the video. Right, and with that, thank you all my guests. Thank you everybody in the chat. It's been a pleasure. We're back again tomorrow. And I'm supposed to be doing a podcast with Universal Who. And I'm doing also a podcast. Actually, I'm pretty busy tomorrow. I've got my own stream, plus I'm doing something with someone else tomorrow as well. So more details when they're released by the person that's obviously doing them. So that's it. I hope you have enjoyed it. I have. It's been a blast. Enjoy our week now, because we're coming into the week, a new week. Stay safe, look after yourselves, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one.